Good morning, everybody. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a somewhat long-time subscriber, thank you for coming back. This is Soul Path Dreaming, and today we're going to be doing something really different. My sister recently has given me a book, and I would like to take time to read it to you, as I feel we are in an age where adults don't recognize what play is. We continually give, and we don't take time to recognize what is our bucket. What is our spiritual, emotional bucket? What is our cup? The phrase says, "My cup runneth over," when we feel so much joy, when we feel so much happiness that you are exploding with so much energy. What also happens when we live in a negative or denser polarity is that our bucket or cup will fill over with all of those energetics. So I'm going to read this little story to the best of my ability to not make any mistakes due to my dyslexia, but here we go. It says, "Have you filled your bucket?" I don't know if this is all backwards for you guys. Not that it matters. It's a story by Carole McLeod, illustrated by David Messing. Have you filled your bucket? A guide to daily happiness for kids. But we're going to pretend we're kids for today. Just for today. All along, I'm going to do this to the best of my ability. All along, everyone in the world walks around carrying an invisible bucket. You can't see it, but it's there. You have a bucket. Each member of your family has their bucket. Your grandparents, your friends, your neighbors all have a bucket. Everyone carries an invisible bucket. Your bucket has one purpose only. Its purpose is to hold your good thoughts and feelings about yourself. When you feel very happy and good, your bucket is full. When you feel very sad and lonely, your bucket is empty. Other people feel the same way too. They're happy when their buckets are full, and they're sad when their buckets are empty. It's great to have a full bucket, and this is how it works. You need others to fill your bucket, and others need you to fill their buckets. So how do you fill buckets? You fill a bucket when you show love to someone, when you do something kind, or even when you give someone a smile. That's being a bucket filler. A bucket filler is a loving, caring person who says or does nice things that makes others feel special. When you make someone feel special, you are filling their bucket. But by also dipping into a bucket and taking out some feelings you dipped into a bucket, when you make fun of someone, when you say or do mean things, or even when you ignore someone, that's being a bucket dipper. A bully is a bucket dipper. A bucket dipper says or does mean things that makes others feel bad. Many people who dipped have an empty bucket. They think they can fill their own bucket by dipping into someone else's. But that will never work. You never fill your own bucket when you dip into someone else's. But guess what? When you fill someone's bucket, you fill your own bucket too. You feel good when you help others feel good. All along, we are either filling or dipping into each other's buckets by what we say and what we do. Try to fill a bucket and see what happens. You love your mom and your dad. Why not tell them you love them? You can even tell them why. Your caring words fill their buckets right up. Watch for smiles to light up their faces. You will feel like smiling too. A smile is a good clue that you have filled someone's bucket. If you practice, you will become a great bucket filler. Just remember that everyone carries an invisible bucket, and think of what you can say or do to fill it. Here are some ideas for you. You could smile and say hi to the bus driver who has a bucket too. You could invite the new kid at school to play with you. You could write a thank you note to your teacher. You could tell your grandpa that you like to spend time with him. There are many ways to fill a bucket. Bucket filling is fun and easy to do. It doesn't matter how young or old you are. It doesn't cost any money. It doesn't take much time. And remember, when you fill someone's bucket, you are filling your own bucket too. When you're a bucket filler, you make your home, your school, your neighborhood a better place to be. Bucket filling makes everyone feel good. So why not decide to be a bucket filler today and every day? Just start by saying to yourself, I'm going to do something to fill someone's bucket today. And at the end of each day, ask yourself, did you fill a bucket? Yes, I did. That's the life of a bucket filler. And that's you. Okay, so before y'all writing in the comments, you're supposed to be filling up your own bucket. First and foremost, this is a story for children. Now, if we bring this story into higher levels of consciousness, we have the understanding that love and the idea to fill up someone's bucket or cup comes from within. You cannot remotely fill a bucket or cup, whatever, until you understand your energetics, your innermost workings. And obviously at a child's age, you're not going to, but you can plant the seed of how are you feeling today? How are you understanding your feelings to be? As parents or as adults, when we interact with children, we can encourage them to play. We can encourage them to understand that they need to give to themselves in order to give to others. By no means should we be teaching people that you must first and foremost give to others so that you feel good. That is a limited belief. There was a hummingbird that just tried to get in my window. Second of all, we need to start understanding that the universe is a giant bucket. What we give out to our universe, to our cosmos, is what we're going to receive. So if you are living on a timeline or an alignment that is denser or in 3D, as opposed to living in an alignment where you understand that some days you will have bad days, some days you will have good days, and that you are in flow, you are able to fill your cup up a lot more. Therefore, having the wherewithal to fill others' cups. And sometimes it is just about, when you feel crummy or gross, smiling at somebody else. Or reaching out to somebody and saying, today I need a little help, and that's okay. And if you do have the capacity to give to that other person, check in with yourself and say, how am I feeling? Do I have the mental capacity? This is how we change the energetics of our world. And in terms of talking about bullies or bucket dippers, we're always dipping into somebody else's bucket or cup when we live in a state of trauma. When you live in a state of trauma, you don't have the capacity, or you are not willing to step outside of your trauma and understand it from an outer perspective. A trauma is a learned behavior that has been causing you to act in a certain way that is not aligned with your consciousness. Your consciousness, being conscious, means that you want to grow and thrive and align with the ultimate frequency, which is love. And when you are living in a state of trauma or a state of the lower, a 3D way of being, you are saying that I don't have faith or trust in myself, that I'm going to be okay, that I'm going to have an understanding that I can work through and love myself enough to change learned behaviors that are maybe not healthy for me. That's being a bucket dipper to yourself. So by recognizing it, that's half the battle. Most people don't even recognize it. But by understanding that we want to come into the awareness that we are more conscious, that we become more conscious by choice and standing in our initiation, which is trauma or a dark night of the soul or standing in our truths. When we choose that initiation, we choose to fill up our own cup, therefore allowing more room, so therefore we can fill someone else's cup. If you like this story today, I don't know if there'll be more, but I got to do what Spirit says, and today was the day. This book has literally been sitting in my room for about a month, and I just look at it, and Spirit will tell me, and today was the day. So if you like this story, give this a thumbs up, share it out. I am really trying to put more content into this page, but I'm also trying to be conscious of my own thoughts and feelings and how I want the dynamics of this page to go. So if you are here and you've been following me from Facebook or Twitter, I lost my brain, Twitter, thank you. And if you're new here and you followed me this far, thank you. I hope to be putting out another video next week. I don't know what it'll be about, but we're starting. So thank you for being here. I hope that you have a great day, and namaste.